It happened. Someone with less time, less experience, maybe you even trained them, got promoted, and you're still here. It's easy to think that it's about politics or luck or who you know. You're frustrated, disappointed, maybe at a loss for words. But here's what I've watched happen inside teams at Google and Fidelity with the directors and VPs I've coached for over a decade. It's not about experience. It's not about luck. The thing you've been doing to prove yourself, working harder, is signaling the wrong thing to the people who decide promotions. Hard work is a trap. In this video, I'll show you what it signals, why it works against you, and the 3 shifts that actually move the needle. 3 things. What hard work actually signals to the people above you. 2 lies that keep you doubling down on it. And 3 shifts that change what they see when they look at you. If this is landing, go ahead and hit subscribe. Every week I post something for leaders stuck at this exact ceiling. Leaders who are managing fires in a survival loop, who want to thrive, but are stuck in their own execution excellence mode. You think you're being seen as reliable, disciplined, focused, the one who gets it done. You are. And that's the problem. A senior director at a private consulting firm told me, I have literally never worked this hard, 7 days a week, so all-encompassing. And then he paused and said the quiet part out loud, and I'm not getting promoted. That's not a productivity issue. That is a positioning issue. When you're heads down, firefighting, running on fumes, you're broadcasting a specific signal, not leader, not partner, something quieter and more dangerous. You're broadcasting membership. Membership says, I'm loyal. I'll do whatever you ask. I'll take whatever you give me. Partnership says, I see the system. I solve the problems before you ask. I bring you the strategy, not the output. High performers assume their hard work signals partnership. I'm so dedicated, surely they see I'm ready for more. But to leadership, the same hard work signals the opposite. It signals you're optimizing inside the role you have, not building toward the one above it. There's a phrase I use with my clients. At this level, your proactivity is reactivity in disguise. You're not getting ahead of the work. You're being driven by it. A director I coached at Google described it perfectly. It felt like I was just taking orders, she said. She had been working overtime to prove herself to a new leadership. But proving doesn't read as partnership. It reads as pleading. Meanwhile, the colleague who got promoted, they weren't working harder. They were signaling differently. When the realization that I'm working hard and I'm not getting promoted hits, most people respond in 1 or 2 ways. Both are wrong. Both make the trap tighter. Lie 1, I need more credentials. The MBA, the PMP, the 3rd certification, more letters after your name. You go into debt. You work nights. You finish the program and you come back to the same job, more credential, but same ceiling. Why? Credentials are a signal to the outside market. Recruiters, applications, LinkedIn. But inside your company, your boss already knows what you can do. More credentials don't change how you operate. You still look like someone optimizing inside the same seat. Lie 2, I need to work harder to prove myself. So you take extra projects. You stay later. Say yes to everything. You become indispensable. Indispensable in your current role. A client of mine, a director at a global media company, told me, I cannot keep doing this job by being the doer. I need to work in a more elevated space. She was running so hard inside her role that nobody could see her outside of it. Here's the part that nobody tells you. When stress sets in, we lose altitude. We return to what's most familiar, which is the doing, the checked box, the fire put out. It feels like progress because it gives your nervous system the comfort of feeling like you're finishing tasks. This isn't progress. It's survival dressed up as productivity. This is what I tell my clients. Stop managing to survive and start designing to thrive. Managing is reactive, optimizing inside the chaos, while designing is architectural, building the system that reorganizes and gives new direction to the chaos. Which brings us to the actual shifts. Here's what your coworkers who get promoted are actually doing. And none of it requires more effort. It requires a different kind of effort. Shift 1, from permission to partnership. A leader I worked with at a major tech company told me, I feel like I'm begging for crumbs. begging for inclusion, begging for visibility, to be seen. She was asking the wrong question. Her question was, how do I get included? The question that got her promoted was, what problem are you facing that I can solve? Walk into a room asking for inclusion, you're a member. Walk in asking what problem you can take off their plate, you're a partner. Same person, different signal. She got promoted within a few months. Shift 2. Make a testable ask. Most people ask feedback like this. Is there anything I should be working on? That's not a request. That's a wish. A VP I worked with reframed it in this way. Instead of asking for vague feedback, he asked his boss, what are the 3 specific things you need to see for me to be promoted to principal in the next 12 months? Suddenly, his boss had a list. He had a roadmap. The conversation went from blurry to binding. Your boss has a picture in their head of what exactly they expect of you. And if they don't, help them clarify that. Make the guess a picture. Get specific, because otherwise you're just guessing. Test it. Get binding. Shift 3, stop stacking, start optimizing. A director I coached got passed over a VP role. The reason they gave her, too complex. We needed someone who was already a VP. Catch 22, right? You can't get the role until you've done the role. But here's what was actually happening. She was the golden child of execution. She got things done. And every time something was hard, she rolled up her sleeves and built it herself. The shift she made was that she stopped being the stacker, the person piling up the work, and became the optimizer, the one orchestrating the conditions for others to do the work. Stackers manage fires. Optimizers redesign the system so the fire doesn't start in the first place. Stackers want to prove that they can do the job. Optimizers prove they can run the floor above it. That's the shift leadership is actually waiting to see. I run a workshop on exactly this. The shifts that move you from managing to survive to designing to thrive. If that's where you're stuck, find the link in the description for more details. None of these shifts work if no one above you can see you making them. So I'm going to break down something most coaches won't say out loud. How to be visible without performing. How to manage up without sucking up. How to make sure the people who decide promotions actually see the version of you that deserves one. That's the video coming next. I'll see you there.